Hey guys, welcome to today's class. Whilst I was in the desert recently, I woke up quite early and decided to get up by the pool and move my body. And here's the class for you. As usual, you don't need a mat to take class or to practice, as long as you have an area that's mainly non-slip. If you have blocks or blankets or pillows or bolsters, you're welcome to use them to support the body in any way that you might need. Set your mat up in an area that you can move the arms and legs around. And let's begin. As we move onto the mat, let's move into a child's pose. The knees come wide. Big toes can touch behind, so open the knees as wide as you need. Reach the arms forwards and extend the torso in between the inner thighs. You're welcome to place a block or blanket under the forehead or the knees to support the body, or under the hips as well. With the hands, bring the fingertips onto the mat, just like the hands are little cages. Imagine you have little cupcakes underneath the hands. You're protecting them. Just moving some space into the shoulders. And then release the palms flat to the ground. Extend the collarbones wide, pressing the hips back and down. Continue to keep the chest reaching towards the thumbs. Inhale, slowly pull the body forwards and up to a tabletop position. Open the front of the spine for cow pose. Exhale, cat pose. You have an option to come up onto the fingertips, doming the spine. Inhale for cow as we flow through. Spread the collarbones, hamstrings push forwards. Exhale, cat as you round the spine. Continue this to your breath as much as you like. As you inhale, lift up for cow. Collarbones are wide, shoulder heads pull back. Exhale, cat pose, again rounding, tailbone sends down to the back of the knees. Wrist creases are parallel to the top of the mat, fingers are spread nice and wide. Extend the right arm forwards and the left leg back, right thumbs turned up to the sky, flex the left toes in towards the face, hug the outer right hip in, and dome like cat pose, bringing the elbow to the knee. As you inhale, extend the arm and the leg. Keeping the left hand grounded, hug the tricep in. Bring the left knee back to the ground, pivot the foot out to the side, and extend the right leg long for a modified side plank. Seal the outer right foot into the ground, and you have an option to lift the leg, flexing the toes in, extending the top arm over the ear. Take a little bit of movement, bring the arm down to the thigh. Inhale, arm comes up over the ear. Exhale, arm down to the thigh as you lift the torso up, setting up for a gate pose. Extend the leg a little further out to the right, arms reach out to the side, and then bring the right hand to the shin as the left arm reaches up and over. Keep the left sideways, picking all the way up towards the underarm. And bring the arms back out, and exhale, left hand to the ground, back to a tabletop position, hands and knees. Again, inhale for cow, spread the collarbones wide. Exhale, dome, cat pose. As you now bring the body into an open position, the front of the spine. Exhale, dome again, cat pose. As the right arm now stays grounded, extend the left arm forwards, right leg back. Flexing the right toes in, left thumb turns up, keep the back of the neck long. Exhale, cat, as you bring the elbow into knee. Inhale to extend, again, hug the outer left hip in. You can take this elbow to knee as many times as you like. Keep the right palm beneath the shoulder, bring the right knee to the ground, extend the left leg long, moving into a modified side plank, left arm lifts up to the sky. Lengthen the right hip towards the left inner heel, and then the option to lift the left leg off the ground, flexing the left toes into the face. As you inhale, extend the arm over the ear. As you exhale, the left arm comes down towards the left thigh. Inhale, reach up and over, keep the nipples turning towards the sky. Exhale, left arm down. One more time, inhale, reach up and over. Using the right outer thigh, lift the body up, extend the left leg, Further out behind you, setting up for a gate pose, arms reach wide. Take an inhale breath, grow tall. Exhale, left hand to the left calf, right arm reaches up and over. Seal the outer left foot down. Inhale, reach back up, arms wide. And exhale, back to a tabletop position, hands and knees. Again, wrist creases parallel to the top of the mat. Spread the fingers. Inhale for lifting the chest, spread the collarbones. Exhale as you dome for cat. Inhale, again cow pose, tuck the toes. Exhale, downward dog, sliding the hip rims back. Can take any movement here, bending the knees, move the hips ahead, the shoulders. Maybe deeply bend one knee, pressing the opposite heel down to the ground. Keep the hamstring lifted, and then take it to the other side. Bend the opposite knee, sink the opposite leg towards the ground, the left heel, right heel down. Maybe take it to each side. A breath or two on each side, keeping the outer hips pulling back. When you're ready, find the tiniest little bend in the knees, tilt the tailbone up and pull the hips back away from the wrists. Spreading the fingers wide, gripping, but also creating that suction of the hands to pull the hips back. The calves push down to the heels. The hamstrings still pull up to the glutes. And creating deep hip creases, heel, ball, toe, the feet all the way to the top of the mat. Little tiny steps. Once the feet come to the top of the mat, bring the feet to about a hip width position, maybe a little wider, and deeply bend the knees into a ragdoll pose, Uttanasana. Fold forwards and tip down, maybe grabbing opposite elbows, or you can bind the fingers, maybe gently sway the body, pressing down into the big toe mounds and the big toes. Take the awkward bind if you are binding, the opposite forearm, opposite fingers on top. You can always interlace the fingers at the back of the neck. The head and shoulders hang to traction through the spine. And again, make sure you take the awkward grip if you do bind. And slowly bring the feet together. You're always welcome to practice with the feet at a hip width position. Inhale, halfway lift, tip forwards. Bring the fingers up onto the shins as you push the calves forward, spread the collarbones. Have an option to bring the arms behind you or hands to the hip points. Inhale, lift all the way up to a mountain pose. Arms reach up to the sky. Exhale, Samastitihi, hands come to heart. Press the thigh bones back. The tailbone lengthens down. Lift the inner arch of the feet up and stand up as tall as you possibly can. Nice and strong, nice and stable. Press into the four corners of both feet. Lift the crown of the head as high as you can. Pelvic floor lifts up. Every exhale, the navel tones back and in. Inhale, mountain. Arms lift all the way up. Option to come up onto the tiptoes here, hugging the ankles in, the outer shins in. And exhale, tip forwards, maybe keeping the heels lifted, tipping at the pelvis. Inhale, halfway lift, spread the collarbones. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, mountain, arms lift all the way up, Urdhva Hastasana, maybe coming straight up onto the tiptoes. You can keep the heels lifted, exhale, hands to heart, Samastitihi. Inhale, arms lift up, standing even taller. Lift the inner arches of the feet higher. Exhale, forward fold, hamstrings lift up to the glutes as you tip. Inhale, halfway lift, Ardha, spread the collarbones, lengthen the spine. Exhale, fold. Again, inhale straight up to a mountain pose. Exhale, Samastitihi, hands come in. Again, pressing the thighs back, the glutes forwards. Inhale, lift the arms, mountain, stand tall. Exhale, fold forwards. Inhale, Ardha, spread the collarbones, lift the hamstrings to the glutes. Exhale, plant the palms, forward fold. Inhale, chair pose, Utkatasana. As you bend the knees deeply, Pull the pubic bone back behind the frontal hip points and wrap the ribs to lift the chest. Turn the glutes on and press the weight down into the heels, sitting so far back that you might fall back a little bit like that. Really using the glutes for stability. You're welcome to bring the hands lifted at the heart or at the hip points. Exhale, fly the arms back behind you. Palms face one another. Inhale, one-legged mountain, left leg lifts up. You're welcome to have the hands at the hips of the heart or lifted up to the sky. Flex the left toes to the shin. Soften the bend in the right knee, really getting the muscles to work, creating more stability. Press down into the right big toe mound. Hug the outer right hip in. Take a little bit of movement, opening the knee to the side, then bringing it across the body without letting the hip move with the leg. Foot stays beneath the knee. So just really starting to create stability in the standing ankle, the entire standing leg. And then bring the leg back to the center. And keep the soft bend in the right knee. Exhale, step the left foot all the way back behind you to a lunge position. Lower the back knee to the ground and keep the left toes tucked forwards. Inhale, crescent moon. As you press down into the right big toe mound, lift the front of the pelvis up. The arms again can be at the heart or lifted up. The left hamstring lifts. Zip up through the front of the body. And exhale, revolve crescent moon. The hands come through heart, the elbow hooks outside the right knee. Push your knee out into the elbow just as much as you're pushing the elbow into the knee. You have an option here to lift the back knee up off the ground. If the back knee does lift, firm the left thigh up nice and high, pressing the left heel behind you. Pull your head forwards away from the glutes and tone the navel in to support the spine in the twist. Keep the elbow on the knee and step forwards into a prayer twist. Keeping the hips and the knees square to the top of the mat, lower the pelvis below the heart. Again, keep the front of the spine long, the collarbone spread wide. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, chair pose. Again, pulling the hamstrings all the way back, pressing down from the calves into the heels. The ribs wrap to lift the navel up away from the pubic bone. Exhale, fly the arms behind you. Collarbone spread wide, back of the neck stays neutral. Inhale, one-legged mountain. This time the right leg lifts. Keep the soft bend in the left knee. Flex the right toes up and hug the outer left hip in. Press down into the left big toe mound. Again, using the left quad and the left glute. Start to take some movement with the right leg, opening it to the side. Bringing it across the body. Keep the ankle beneath the knee, toes flexed. And the pelvis stays square to the front of the mat. And find the leg back in the center. Option to lift the arms to the sky. Hugging into the outer left glute. Exhale, slowly step the right foot all the way back behind you. Take your time, take a big giant step. And the toes come to the ground, lower the back knee and keep the toes tucked forwards. Left big toe mound presses down, inhale, crescent moon. Again, rise up out of the low spine. Zipping up through the front of the body, just like a hoodie. Outer hips hug in. Point the left knee forwards over the left big toe mound. Over the left middle toe, and hugging the outer left thigh back. Exhale, revolve crescent moon. This time hook the right elbow outside the left knee. Again, press the elbow and knee into one another, sliding the outer left hip back. Keep the spine long, the collarbones wide. And the same option again to lift the back knee up off the ground. Once it lifts, pack the right thigh up towards the sky, push the right heel behind you, and continue to press the elbow out into the knee, knee into the elbow. Keep that connection, slowly step the right foot forwards, prayer twist. Again, the hips lower. The right hip crease pulls back to lengthen the right side waist. Sit the hips down. Open the left side of the chest. And exhale, forward fold. Slowly allow the body to tip forwards and down. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, Padangustasana, peace finger grip around the big toes and seal the circle with the thumbs. Spread the collarbones, the elbows are wide, the inner knees and the hamstrings, the inner thighs lift up to the groin, to the glutes. Pull the navel forwards, down, away from the pubic bone. Continue to keep the chest pulling down past the toes. Shoulders stay back away from the ears. Inhale, halfway lift, again lengthen the spine. Exhale, Padahastasana, gorilla pose. Plant the palms all the way underneath the feet. Toes to the wrist creases. Inhale, Ardha, again tip forwards. Exhale, fold. The hamstrings still continue to lift nice and high. Collarbones wide. Back of the legs lifting up to the glutes. The calves press down again. Inhale, halfway lift, tip forwards. Exhale, release the palms. Inhale, Ardha, again lengthen the spine. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, Utkatasana, chair pose. Exhale, fly the arms back behind you, collarbones wide. Inhale, one-legged mountain, left leg lifts, flex the toes up. Exhale, standing figure four, ankle crosses the thigh. Toes flex to the shin. Hug the outer right hip in. Begin to open the left inner groin out to the left inner knee. You're welcome to stay here or place the foot on the right hip crease. The right hand can hold the top of the foot, again squeezing the inner thighs together. You have this, you can bind the left arm behind, the right arm can lift up to the sky, maybe staying here. Well, then you can tip forwards, bending the knee, reaching forwards. The right hand can either come to the ground, to a prop if you have a block handy, or maybe bringing the hand behind the calf. Continue to lift the inner thigh up, the hamstring up to the glute. Pressing down into the big toe, the inner arch lifts. Collarbones stay wide, the left shoulder head pulls back. Hugging the outer hips in, inhale, lift back up. Keep the foot on the thigh. Exhale, hands to heart. Slowly unravel, inhale, left leg lifts. Exhale, left foot steps all the way back. This time inhale, crescent lunge, up into a high lunge. As you soften the bend into the left knee, lift the arms up. Again, pull the outer right hip back. The pelvis is in an upright position. The left inner thigh rotates back to the left inner heel. Exhale, warrior two, open up. Adjust the feet accordingly. Left toes turn in, same with the left hip rim. The hips are square to the ground. Point the right knee again over the middle toe as you track the knee open, opening the groin. Lengthen the side waist, left and right side, nice and even, to one another. The arms reach out, the shoulders plug into the sockets, but keep the activation out to the fingers. Inhale, reverse warrior. Right arm reaches up, track the right knee open. Exhale, hands to the ground. Step forwards to fold using the right glute with control. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, chair pose. Again, sit back, use the glutes, the quads. Exhale, fly the arms behind. Inhale, one-legged mountain, right leg lifts, outer left hip hugs in. Exhale, either standing figure four, and you can just stay here if that's perfect for your body today. Toes flex to the shin. Keeping the hips square forwards, also square to the ground. You're also welcome to bring the foot up to the left hip crease. The left hand can hold the top of the foot, maybe staying here, outer hips hug in. Or you can move into the bind with the right hand coming behind, maybe grabbing the left arm or the foot. If you have the foot, the left arm reaches up to the sky. Again, squeezing the inner thighs together. You're welcome to now forward fold. Soften the bend in the standing leg as you reach out and down. Left hip hugs in. Left hand can either come to a prop, the ground, or maybe onto the left calf. Rotate the right shoulder head back. Feel the right shoulder blade to press down. And keep the left hamstring lifting up. Again, squeeze in through the outer left glute. When you're ready, inhale, slowly lift back up. Keep the legs, exhale, hands come to heart. Inhale, right leg lifts in front, unravel. Exhale, slowly step the right foot all the way back. Take your time, big step. Soften the bend in the right knee. Inhale, lift up to a crescent lunge. The pelvis is upright again. The arms can be at the hips, at the heart, or lifted to the sky. The outer left hip pulls back, pressing into the left big toe mound. Point the knee directly over the middle toe. Send the inner right thigh to the inner right heel. Again, outer hips hug, lifting up. The pubic bone lifts up to the chest. Exhale, open up to warrior two. Spin the right heel down, turn the right toes and the right hip in. And level out the hip rims to the ground as you track the left knee open. Lengthen the side waist nice and even. And reach out through the arms as you spread the collarbones. Feel the right thigh bone reach up towards the right side of the pelvis. Inhale, reverse warrior. Keep the bend in the front knee and track it to the left. Reach the left arm up. Keep the right thigh bone nice and strong and stable. Exhale, hands to the ground. Use the left glute, step forwards and fold. Inhale, Ardha. Exhale, squat and curl. Come onto the tiptoes and around the entire spine, squeezing the navel in, forehead to knees. Lower the heels to the ground and then your bum down. Slowly release onto your back and bring the knees in towards the chest. And part the knees wide, moving into a happy baby pose. You can either use the peace fingers around the big toes. You can always grab the feet, the ankles, or the back of the thighs. The knees are wide, the pelvis presses down. Bring the feet to the ground and release the arms down. Inhale, bridge pose. Roll from the pelvis up to the shoulders, relaxing the pubic bone down, wrapping the outer hips up. Press into the four corners of the feet. And lift the chin slightly to lift and gain some space in the upper neck. Exhale, release from the shoulders down to the low spine and the pelvis. Inhale again, Setu Bandhasana, lift the hips up. Roll the shoulder heads back. Shoulder blades push the chest closer to the chin. Exhale, articulate the spine back down. Again, inhale, Setu Bandhasana, lift the outer hips up. Press the triceps down. Use the hamstrings and the glutes to support. Lift the front of the shins up as you press into the big toe mounds. You're welcome to stay here. If you have the space in the shoulders, maybe bring the hands to the low back or the glutes. You can lift one or both feet up towards the sky. Press down into the triceps. Again, make sure the upper neck's lifted off the ground. Lift the chin slightly. You're welcome to then bring the feet back behind the head. Otherwise, keep the feet straight up towards the sky. Hands to the low back to support. The elbows walk in. Again, the chin is lifted. Slowly lift one leg at a time. Keep the toes flexed. Release that leg and then lift the opposite leg. Again, the triceps hug in and press down. And take your time to again release the leg that's lifted. And take your time to very slowly roll the spine all the way back down onto the ground. And happy baby one more time as you bring the legs in, knees towards the underarms, the back of the pelvis presses down. Hug the knees together. Bring the feet back to the ground. And walk the feet wide as you let the legs drop over to the left for a staggered twist. If you have anything that you need to support the legs, maybe place something under the outside of the left thigh, the inside of the right thigh. You're also welcome to place the left ankle, the bottom foot, on top of the top thigh, the right thigh. The right arm can reach back behind, getting a little more space down the front right. Feel the right back rib cage press towards the ground. You can stay on this side as long as you need. Just observing how it feels. When you're ready, you can release. Bring the legs back to the center and let the legs drop over to the right. Again, support the legs. You're welcome to reach the arms, especially the left arm back behind to create a long front left side. Maybe place the right foot on top of the left thigh. Again, this is all options. If it doesn't feel good, then please don't do it. Start to feel the left upper back rib cage press down towards the ground, lengthening through the left side. Again, staying on this side as long as you need. When you're ready, bring the legs back to the center. And take any further movements that feel good for you. Any other poses, transitions, anything else the body feels ready for. And when you're ready, move to your resting pose of Shavasana. The arms and legs wide. You're welcome to support the body with any props that you have, maybe something under the back of the legs, or anywhere else that it may feel good. Let your mind float away. Let the breath shallow into the chest. Allow yourself to just be. Notice any sounds that you hear around you. Observe sensation as you feel it. Internal, external. And please feel free to stay as long as you like. When you're ready, allow little movements in as you deepen your breath. Roll to the most comfortable side. Spend a few breaths there. Just noticing how you may feel different. You may think differently. Just observe. And taking your time in the transition. When you're ready, use the top hand to slowly press yourself upright. Coming to a comfortable seated position, you're welcome to sit up on any props that might help it to feel more comfortable. You can either bring the hands on the thighs, in your lap, or the hands to heart. Just spending a few breaths to thank yourself. Thank the time that you've been able to spend moving, breathing, connecting, observing, being present and creating awareness. Namaste. As usual, if you found this video useful, or if you know someone that may benefit from the video, please share it. Thank you for watching, and remember to subscribe to stay up to date. Have an amazing day.